Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Akila binti Muhammad Sobri. My matric number 2310911179. Today I will be presenting the introduction, case study area and the first hazard identified in our Hirarc project entitled Hazard Identification, Risk Assessment and Risk Control at the Faculty of Electronic Engineering and Technology, FKTEN. First, occupational safety and health is important because it helps protect people, equipment and workplace asset from accident and injuries. In this assignment, we use the Hirarc method, which stands for Hazard Identification, Risk Assessment and Risk Control. This method is used to identify hazard, evaluate risk and determine appropriate control measure. The objective of this study are to identify hazard in the laboratory, assess the risk level, recommend suitable control, and increase safety awareness among engineering students. This slide shows the case study area selected for our Hirarc assessment, which is the microprocessing laboratory located at the Faculty of Electronic Engineering and Technology, FKTEN. The laboratory is mainly used for microprocessor and embedded system course and can accommodate approximately 60 students at one time. It is managed by a laboratory coordinator and technician to ensure that all activities are carried out safely and efficiently. The laboratory is equipped with various electrical and electronic equipment such as power supply unit, oscilloscope, solder iron, desktop computer, microcontroller kits and digital multimeter. Since these devices are frequently used by students during practical season, there are several potential hazards that need to be identified and controlled. Therefore, this laboratory was selected as the case study area to evaluate workplace hazard and improve safety awareness among students and staff.
This slide shows the risk assessment criteria used in the Hirarc process. The risk level is classified into low, medium and high risk based on the risk score. A score of 1 to 4 is low risk, 5 to 12 is medium risk, and 50 to 25 is high risk. The likelihood rating shows how likely a hazard is to happen, from rare to almost certain. The severity rating shows how serious the impact will be, from negligible injury to fatality. By combining the likelihood and severity rating, we can calculate the risk score and determine the appropriate control measures for each hazard.
The first hazard identified is electrical shock, which is one of the most serious hazards in the microprocessing laboratory. This hazard can happen because of the damaged cable, exposed wiring and improper use of electrical equipment. As shown in the example on this slide, there are several conditions for may cause electrical shock. For example, messy and tangled cable can become damaged and expose live wire. Besides that, the light casing located near the workway may become loose or damaged. If the wiring inside is exposed, it can increase the risk of electrical shock to laboratory user. Based on the risk assessment, the likelihood is 3 and the severity is 5. This gives a risk score of 15, which is classified as a high risk. To reduce this risk, proper grounding and insulation should be provided. Lotto procedure should be followed during maintenance work, safety training should be conducted regularly, and appropriate PPE such as lab coat should be used. By implementing this control measure, the risk of electrical shock can be reduced and a safer laboratory environment and be maintained for the student and staff. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Faizal bin Shukri, 2310911143. The second hazard is identify, strip and fall. This hazard is commonly caused by poor cable management and cable placed across walkway. As shown in this laboratory cable that are not properly arranged can create obstacle and increase the high risk of someone tripping while walking. This may result in injuries such as cut bruise or minor fractures. Based on the risk assessment, the likelihood is rated as 4 because this hazard is likely occur, while the severity is rated 3, therefore its score is 12. So classify medium risk. To reduce this risk, several control measures are recommended, including the use cable tray or cable cover, good housekeeping and practice routine inspection to ensure walkway remain clear and safe. The third hazard identified is ergonomic hazard. This hazard is mainly caused by prolonged sitting, poor posture and improper workstation setup during laboratory activity. Students often spend a long hour working with the computer and electronic equipment. Poor sitting posture and unsuitable workstation arrangements may lead to the discomfort, muscle strain, neck pain and back pain. Based on the risk assessment, the likelihood is rated as 4, while the severity is rated as 2, and this gives a risk score of 8, which fall under the medium risk category. Okay, to reduce this risk is a very controlled measure can be implemented, such as providing an ergonomic chair, ensuring a proper monitor and positioning, encouraging stretching, break, and promoting ergonomic awareness among the student and the staff. This measure can help improve the comfort, reduce the physical strain, and create the healthier working environment in the laboratory.
Next, I will present hazard 4, which is fire hazard. Fire hazard can occur due to electrical faults, overheating equipment, and short circuit. Since many electrical devices are used in the laboratory, there is a risk of fire if the equipment is not properly maintained. The likelihood is 3 and the severity is 5, giving a risk level of 50, which is categorized as high risk. This is because fire can cause serious injuries and damage to laboratory equipment. To reduce this risk, fire extinguisher, smoke detector, fire drills, and emergency procedure are provided in the laboratory. In conclusion, proper maintenance and fire safety awareness are important to ensure a safe laboratory environment.
Assalamualaikum, and my name is Nur Irdina Afika binti Nur Syamsul. My metric number is 2310911183. So in this slide, I'm going to present to you about hazard number 5, which is emergency evacuation obstruction. Okay, the image on this slide shows that the microprocessing laboratory is equipped with clearly marked emergency exit, evacuation route, and an evacuation map to assist users during emergency situation. However, evacuation pathway may become obstructed by equipment, temporary laboratory setup, or personal belongings during laboratory session. This can delay evacuation, create congestion, and increase the risk of injuries during the emergency. Based on the risk assessment, this hazard is classified as a medium risk. Therefore, regular inspection, proper housekeeping practice, and periodic evacuation drills should be conducted to ensure all evacuation routes remain clear and accessible at all time. Thank you. Okay, next in this slide we're gonna discuss about discussion and conclusion. We go with discussion first. Okay, based on the Hirarc assessment, 5 major hazards were identified in the microprocessing laboratory. These hazards include with electrical shock, trip and fall, agronomic hazard, fire hazard, and emergency evacuation obstruction. Among them, electrical shock and fire hazard were classified as the highest risk due to their severe consequences. The study shows that effective control measure and safety awareness are essential to reduce workplace risk. Next, for conclusion. In conclusion, this Hirarc study successfully identified and evaluate the major hazard present in the laboratory. Appropriate control measure were recommended to minimize the risk and improve workplace safety. Overall, the implementation of Hirarc helps create a safer laboratory environment and promotes a strong safety culture among future engineers. Thank you.